Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of RV Tips and Trips. And today I want to talk to you about how to save money RVing. Okay, so how to save money RVing. When we've been traveling now for well over a year, and our very first instinct was to go and see everything. I mean, we were in a mad dash to go see all the sites and travel all over the place. We drove a ton of miles that first year. It was just really unbelievable. We also ended up spending a fortune in gasoline and tolls, because we traveled all the way through the Northeast, so a lot of tolls and a lot of RV parks. So like I said, that first year we spent a fortune. The moral of this story is to stay put longer in each place. It should not be a mad dash to travel all over the country, because if you're retired like us, or you're doing this full time, either way, you got lots of time to travel and see the sights. So slow up and enjoy each spot. By staying put longer in each place, you're going to spend a lot less money on gas. So that's definitely good advice. Now we do visit a lot of national parks, national monuments, and BLM property, and the Army Corps of Engineers. So the sun's kind of in my eye, so we're going to turn this a little bit this way. So I highly recommend getting the America the Beautiful Pass. Now there's two versions of it. There's the Senior Citizen Pass, which you pay $80 for, and it's good for life. If you're age 62 and over. So if you're under 62, you can still get an America the Beautiful Pass. You would get just the annual one, which is $70, and it's good for 1 year from the time you purchase it. It's money well spent, even if you have to keep buying this every year, once a year, $70. This is what you save. You get free entry into all the national parks and then national monuments. A lot of these places can actually run $20, $30 a pop trying to just get in. So you won't be charged that when you show them your America the Beautiful card. And if you camp there, you get half off your camping fee. So there's a lot of the national parks are $20. You'll pay $10. Now you get the half off on the campsite itself. If it offers electricity, you don't get a discount on the electricity part. So it's just the camping part. And they post these things when you come into the campground. It shows you the fees, and it tells you all about it, so no big deal. So get yourself the America the Beautiful Pass. It's money well spent. I do have a link that you can use. It's down in the description, that will take you to the federal government's website, which can show you where you can buy these. There's district offices all over the country, okay? Or you can buy it at most national parks or at most national monuments. Not every place has it available, so that's why it's a good thing to download this PDF file that I'll put in the description. This way you'll know where to go to get one. Now, the other thing to get, and I really wish that I had gotten this when we first started out on our adventure, and that is the Passport America membership. It's $44 a year, and it gives you half off of their member on their member campgrounds, half off their published rates. So we have spent a ton of money on campgrounds in the past. Now with Passport America, it has saved us a ton of money. Your first 2 uses and it's paid for itself. And I'm going to provide you another link, because there's a special deal that I have right now with Passport America, that if you use my link, it'll take you to the application page for Passport America, and my information will already be pre-filled in there as the referring person. You will get an additional 3 months when you buy the Passport America membership. So it's $44 normally for a year, but you'll get an additional 3 months if you use my link, which you'll find in the description. So that helps save you a little bit of money. One of the things that I did sign up for early on when we were traveling was the KOA camp card. Paid $30 for it, and we did stay at a lot of KOAs. It gives you 10% off on your stays, and then you accumulate points which are worth money, and I've gotten discounts in addition to my 10% off. And the point levels, $25 off, $10 off on your stay. They also have for their KOA members, there's a couple times a year where you get a free night camping when you buy a night. So you do get some discounts. The thing is, the KOA is a little pricey, but most of their campgrounds are pretty nice, and so every once in a while it's probably worth to stay at one, because you get to use the swimming pools and hot tubs and stuff like that. But on Passport America, if you go back and look at those, there are quite a few of those campgrounds that also offer pools and hot tubs. You might want to download the app for Passport America, and you can see reviews for each campsite, so you might want to take a look at that. And then KOA also has an app that you put on your phone, and once you've signed up for it, it shows your member ID number, like a card. You can make reservations online with the KOA app, but there's also a section where on that app where you can get coupons for all sorts of different things, dining and auto services, and it's based on where you're at the time that these coupons come up. So that also helps save a little bit of money. Now, here's another deal. We have used Harvest Host quite a few times, and that is also a membership group, and I think it runs about $50 now. I bought mine almost a year ago, so I'm coming up for renewal. They're a membership group. They have deals with places like farms, museums, wineries, and we've been to some of these. We've stayed at a couple of wineries, and we stayed on a farm, which is pretty cool. It's dry camping. When you do this, you get to stay one night. Some places will say, hey, you can stay 2 nights, but it's primarily one night. Harvest House, it's a great experience, and they have deals all across the country. The only thing that is asked of you is, number one, you leave the spot that you're given clean, and that you make a purchase while you're there. So a lot of these places have a store or a restaurant, or they offer wine tasting. Usually you pay for the wine tasting. Those things are not free. General rule of thumb, spend about 25 bucks. When you go there, definitely spend a couple of bucks. Everybody appreciates it. Another discount that I have is the Good Sam card. Now, Good Sam, is tied in with Camping World, and so Camping World sells the memberships there. And as a member of Good Sam, you get discounts at Camping World, but you also get 10% off at all the Good Sam parks all across the country. And Good Sam also has an app that you can download where you can look up campgrounds in different areas to see what's available and what the amenities are and things like that. So 10%. Good Sam tends to be not quite as expensive as KOA. Probably it's the next step down, but 10% off with that. But the other thing is with the Good Sam card is that you get fuel discounts at Flying J and pilots all across the country. So every time I've used it, I've gotten 5 cents off a gallon on each purchase. So it's yeah, it helps there too, especially when you got, like, we got a 35-gallon tank in our truck. So 5 cents a gallon adds up. So you get your 10% discount on Good Sam campgrounds, you get your discount at Camping World, and you get 5 cents a gallon off on gasoline. So definitely worthwhile. Now, some of the other things, propane can get kind of costly over time. So you want to stay in the warmer environments. You know, these RVs, you know, they're not all that great as far as insulation. And we did stay put in Colorado our first few months while I was waiting for Kathy to finish working at her job. I had already retired. She was due to retire a few months after me, and we were already out of the house, and so we were living in the trailer. And we started living in it in January of 2018, and we stayed in Colorado. Let me tell you, we went through a ton of propane, and the places that we were using, it was about $30 to $35 to fill a 30-pound tank of propane. And I would go through 1.5 to 2 tanks a week. I mean, it got really, really expensive. So you're going to want to stay in a warmer environment and avoid the snow and ice. Here's what I found is that your best prices on propane are, number one is Tractor Supply. Generally, I pay about $15 for to fill a 30-pound propane bottle. So that's less than half of what I was paying before. That was really good. The next one that I use a lot is Love's. The Love's truck stops. Most of them sell propane, not all of them, but most. And they run right around $3 a gallon. And so a 30-pound propane tank holds about 7 gallons. So $20 to $21 there. And U-Haul. U-Haul will also run about $20 a tank, for a 30-pound propane bottle. So, but Tractor Supply, look for those first, because those seem to be the cheapest. Okay, another way that we save money on the road is by now boondocking as much as possible. I like to boondock. Well, about 7 days is where we typically fall, and then the tanks have to be dumped and we need new fresh water. So 1 week boondocking, and then usually like to spend 1 or 2 nights at an RV park and then boondock again for another 7 nights. Now this last week, so we boondocked on the beach at Padre Island, and then we traveled north and stayed at a nice rest area overnight, so we didn't pay anything there. And now we're at a city park where it's you get 4 nights free, and they have a dump station. So now I can dump, fill up with water, and we can continue boondocking. So we won't need to stay at an RV park. So that's gives us about 2 weeks of boondocking. So not having to pay any fees. So that's really cheap rent, and we're having a good time. That's the thing about it. So boondock as much as possible. In the West, it's BLM property. Either they're really cheap, like LTVAs out in Arizona, $40 for 2 weeks. There's a lot of BLM that's totally free. And like I said, that's boondocking. Boondocking is you're not hooked up to any electric or water or sewer or anything. You're totally self-contained. Very similar to dry camping. Dry camping same thing. You're totally independent, but you're not in the middle of nowhere. You're usually at a Walmart or something like that. Which brings me to Walmarts. We stop at them every once in a while, just stay overnight. We always ask for permission. And we find these places using freecampsites.net. So that's an app that you should definitely download and utilize. Another one I use a lot is RV Parky. So keep that in mind. Those will help you find a lot of the free places. But Walmart, like I said, we only use it occasionally. So use it occasionally, don't abuse it. Cabela's, our pro bass shops, are another good resource. Some of them have a separate RV parking area, and some of them offer free dump station if you make a purchase at their store. So they usually have room for 5 or 6 RVs. I've used them a couple of times as well, and they don't charge anything. Here's a great one, and we've used this quite a few times. And depending on your individual personality, whether you actually end up saving something or not is going to be totally dependent on you. Casinos. A lot of casinos offer free stays. It's, usually they have a large parking lot, and they tell you can park at the other far end of their lot. And the nice thing is you got security going around all the time, so I have always felt safe, never felt unsafe using the casinos. Some of the casinos are charging minimal amounts, but up in the Northeast, in Connecticut, we found a couple of casinos, they let you stay a couple of weeks at a time, free of charge. So we ended up staying in Connecticut really cheap by using casino camping. So use those whenever you can, and all you have to do is just Google casinos near me, and it'll pull up a list of casinos, and you can call them on the phone and ask if they have overnight RV parking. So, and that's what we've done and found quite a few that did offer it. So that was really awesome. All right, so don't forget, download the apps, freecampsite.net and RV Parky. Those are your 2 really good ones. And then we have our jetpack for our hotspot. It's a prepaid unlimited plan. It ends up being $65 a month. I have found that actually gets better reception most times than our cell phones ever did anyway. So we have reduced our plans. We have Verizon. It's the Verizon prepaid unlimited hotspot with the jetpack. The Ellipsis jetpack is what we have. And I've gotten really good service. It's not throttled or anything. It's totally unlimited 4G service. So it's been really good. And I will put a link up for that as well. I'd done a review. I've done actually 3 reviews on the jetpack. So it's worked out well. It's worked out so well that I have reduced our Go Unlimited plans. It was beyond unlimited, which gets kind of pricey for our 2 cell phones, and downgraded them to just a few gigabytes. So now the money that I saved on the cellular plans that we have pays for the Verizon jetpack plan. So it was well worth it. How I do this is I take my jetpack. It's small. It's only about like yay big, and it has battery in it, and it has a mini USB connection for charging, and it works with the cables that I have in the car to go into the USB ports in the truck, so I can still charge the battery on it in the truck. And I use the hotspot in the truck. I take the hotspot with me everywhere I go now. Stick it in my pocket and we go. So we don't just use it for the TV and computer when we're parked somewhere in the RV, but we also use it in the truck. So while we're driving down the road, Kathy likes to watch YouTube and stuff while we're driving down the highway. And so instead of using data on the phone, we use the hotspot, and it works great. So we save a few bucks that way as well. I think that's about everything that we do to save money. Boondocking and staying put are the two biggest, though. I strongly recommend that. If there are other things that you guys do to save money while on the road, why don't you let me know what those are, and we can share that with everybody who watches these videos. All right, well, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you again. See ya. Happy camping. Thomas says thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share. Until next time, happy camping.